Warm greetings to all my viewers. This is Jacob Samuel. And for today's thought, I wish to walk you through with the following story. Once there lived in the kingdom of Arabia, a king who did not have much knowledge on justice and kindness. So he decided to learn more about justice. He called in his prime minister and he asked him to look for the best teacher who could teach him justice. A teacher was identified, and the very next morning, the teacher appeared at the door of the palace, and the teacher had to wait hours for the king's arrival and to deliver his lessons. The lessons continued for a few months, and just like any other teacher, the king's teacher decided to put a test for the king. And when the results came in, it was disastrous. The king had failed in the test. Then the king decided to call in one of the students, one of the teacher's students, who is presently a judge. He summoned him to his palace and said, "You and I have studied under the same teacher, but how is it that you have passed the test and I have failed in the test?" And the judge asked his magistrate, "If you are going to answer yes to 3 of my questions that I'm going to pose to you, and if the answers are yes, you will find the reason behind your failure." The first question was, when the teacher arrives at the gates of the palace, is it the teacher who greets you and waits for you, or is it you who greet the teacher at the door of the palace? That the king replied, "Yes, the teacher has to wait for me because I am the king and he is the subject." And the judge said, "Okay, fine. And here is my next question. When you are seated to study, do you sit at a higher place than the teacher?" And the king replied, "Well, the palace is mine, the throne is mine, and all the servants around me, they are mine. And by law, I am the king, and the teacher is only a subject. I sit on my throne, and the teacher sits on his chair when the lessons are taught. Yes, I do sit in a higher position than the teacher." And then he realized his mistake, and the judge said, "You are not going to learn anything if you do not change your attitude towards your teacher." The next morning, when the teacher arrived at the gates of the palace, the king was there to greet the teacher, took him into the palace, and when the lessons were taught, the king sat on a chair and made his teacher sit on his throne. And all throughout the lessons, the king thought to himself that when a lesson is being taught, the teacher is the king and the king is the subject. A few months later, when the test was conducted, the teacher conducted the test and the king was successful in his test. My dear listeners, what do you carry home from the story? Respect your teacher, whoever you are. Give due respect. Do not wait or make the teacher wait for you, but you come to class early and wait for the teacher. Thank you for lending me your ears. Till we meet again, stay safe and bye-bye. Thank you.